course, we are counting down to the big game tonight, and joining us to break down all things Cowboys is Landon McCool, host of the Locked On Cowboys podcast. And Landon, I appreciate you getting with us today as we get ready for the NFL head coaching debut of the Cowboys' Brian Schottenheimer. Are you predicting a win tonight?
I think I would be pretty bold to predict a win against the Super Bowl champions at home on the day that they're getting their rings. I think there's a reason that Vegas makes the money they do. I think it's going to be a tough uphill climb, but you know, you never know. It's September football, and there's a lot of chaos in September football, and chaos is a ladder. So maybe there's opportunity here for the Cowboys.
Hey, that's the current NFL, you know. Even if you come in the season with, diminished expectations, anything can happen. And you've got an offense with Dak Prescott back on the field, about 305 days, I think, since he last took a meaningful snap. He's got some new offensive weapons to help him out. Let's break that down first of all. How do you feel like Dak and this offense performed tonight?
That's the big, $1 million question here, right? Because I think there's lots of questions on the defensive side. We're really just not sure what that's going to look like with all the personnel shift going around. But the one thing that you hope the Cowboys can kind of hang their hat on is they've added George Pickens, who's going to add a vertical threat to this offense, is going to help open things up for CeeDee Lamb and Ferguson underneath. The hope is that you've added a young offensive lineman who can help with the protection up front to keep Dak clean. The most consequential part of this team should be the passing attack. They should be the driving engine for the entire group, the offense and the defense, to be honest. The Cowboys need to score a lot of points if they're not going to have Micah Parsons type player on the defensive side of things, to get out and get some early wins, early leads, and then try to grind the game down so that they can win these sort of games.
Yeah, we know the Cowboys want to run the ball better than they have in recent years as well. So we'll see if they can do that, if that sets up the passing game, or how they fare against a very difficult Eagles defense. But really, it's the Cowboys defense I want to talk about, because I think a lot of folks around here are still kind of getting used to the Micah Parsons trade, the stun of that, and the fact that you get Kenny Clark helps a little bit. But how do you grade this defense going into a really tough matchup against the potent Eagles offense?
Yeah, there's just a lot of unknown here. And I think, I kind of described it to somebody on the podcast. It's like the talent got spread out a little bit, and then the overall level of talent got dropped a rung or two, because, Micah Parsons is one of the best non-quarterback football players in the NFL. I mean, so losing him is going to have an effect. The good news for the Cowboys, I mean, the silver lining here is that defensive end, before Parsons got traded, was one of the deepest positions the Cowboys have. So they have a lot of bodies that they're interested in looking at. Sam Williams, Neeland, obviously Ezaraku, who's a rookie that they drafted in the second round. So there's guys out there that can kind of replace some of that production, you hope, if everything hits right. But you just don't think that you're going to get the same kind of pass rush that you had with Micah Parsons. But maybe you get some returns in the run game by adding a guy like Kenny Clark in the middle of this defense. It helps with your defensive tackle rotation, much the way that you saw the Pickens trade help the wide receiver room. It was kind of a weak wide receiver room. You add Pickens to the top, everyone kind of slots into place where they're supposed to be. And I think there's going to be a similar effect in the defensive tackle room with Clark kind of knocking all the other defensive tackles down a rung. I think everybody kind of fits their role a little bit better.
Well, look, let's see what happens tonight. It's a new season. Maybe this is our year, Landon.
Yeah, look, here's the thing. It's a young team. It's one of the youngest teams in the NFL. Things are going to be tough early. They have a tough schedule, obviously, as indicated by the fact they're playing the Super Bowl champions in week 1. But as the season goes on, this team gets more seasoned. This is going to be a much better football team by the end of the year, the beginning of the year. So hang in there. It's going to be tough, but all you have to do is make the tournament and see how things go once you get there.
Hey, let's hope. And we've got plenty of hope around here this year. All right, Landon McCool, thank you very much for that. And if you'd like even more Cowboys news, you can catch Landon on a special episode of Locked On Cowboys today at 1 p.m., streaming on WFA+. And stay with us right after the game, because Joe Trahan and the gang will be on Plus as well. Full post-game analysis and reaction. And then tomorrow, we've got you covered with our Cowboys insider, Ed Werder, joining us in studio here on Daybreak at 6 a.m., breaking down everything that happened in Philadelphia.